Good morning, I'm Michael Gable from Fairmont Equities. These are my stock tips for Monday the 18th of July. Just make sure you're familiar with my disclaimer, any advice is general only. So the first stock that I'm going to look at today is Monadelphous. Now this is a high risk trade. Mining services sector, in my opinion, is still quite risky here. Most of the stocks have rallied off some very oversold lows. But there is still uncertainty in terms of the resources and minerals sector and where the future demand could be at over the next few years. So Monadelphous, it is a high risk trade. The stock is expensive looking at consensus targets, but it has been breaking through an ascending triangle. So this is giving us a trading opportunity for the higher risk investor out there. So this is a daily chart of Monadelphous. You will notice this ascending triangle that I've just noted, and this is the breakout that we saw a week ago. So for some of my high risk clients, we have bought some Monadelphous here. I'm expecting levels up towards about $9.50, $10 before it starts to struggle, and then I'll consider taking our profits there. Okay, the next one is Western Areas. Australia's arguably Australia's best producer of nickel. Again, this is a high risk trade, just bear that in mind, because of the resources sector and the pricing of these commodities. They do change quite rapidly, and it also makes it fairly hard to value. But based on consensus targets, it is looking a bit expensive. But what I've noticed is after the recent rally on the back of nickel prices, we have seen a lot of volume to break that 2-year downtrend. So what we've seen here is initially a low back in 2013, fantastic rally up in Western Areas, and then it's eased all the way back to retest that 2013 low. And a lot of volume is coming in now. I'm also seeing some good divergence here on the RSI. So the RSI had a low back here about a year ago, but Western Areas continue to drop. So good divergence there with the RSI, where the momentum was building as the share price was still staying subdued. We finally got a break here of that downtrend. Any weakness at current levels, in my opinion, is a buying opportunity. I'm expecting it to rally to about 250, and then if it can, 350. If it can clear 350. I'm looking at levels of around $4 for Western Areas. The next one we're looking at is Automotive Holdings Group. I did cover this one last week in my video, but I just want to show you what the chart's been doing, because we've now got that confirmation of that downtrend being broken on very good volume, and the stock has rallied 11% since my video last week. So a lot of traders are already wondering if they should take a quick profit. Some of our clients have that did get into AHG. Longer term, I do expect it to go to higher levels, but just looking at the chart, on this weekly chart, you will notice that, look, there is some resistance at current levels, so shorter term it should pull back. So I couldn't argue against taking a very quick profit there. If you took my advice last week, I'd look to re-enter in the low fours. As I said, medium to longer term, I'm expecting it to continue to trade higher. Okay, the final one today is Blackmores. Looks about 20% undervalued compared to consensus targets, but a very bullish setup in terms of the candlestick charts. And we also need to watch that MACD, so I'll show you what I mean by that. Here on the weekly chart, you'll notice this very impressive candle there last week. Good volume coming into the stock as well. So this pullback here is probably ended now. We're expecting a nice rally up in Blackmores. When I mentioned the MACD, what you'll notice here is on the weekly chart, it has predicted quite nicely the good, the turning points here in Blackmores. So, buy signal here just under $100, sell signal around $200, and what you'll notice is it's almost about to cross here. So if you're a little bit more conservative, you might want to wait for that MACD to cross. It could happen this week if we see some positive price action. and therefore that'll be a buy signal for Blackmores over coming months. It should continue to trade higher. Well, that's it for my share tips today. As always, visit the website, have a look at the blog, trial the research, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.